Editing for success. Everybody's heard of editing. Maybe you do some editing with your YouTube videos. Maybe you do some editing on your book if you're a writer, editing on your articles, maybe editing for your clips that you put on social media. Personally, I don't really do any editing myself. I do everything in one take. I'm just that good. But the whole point here is, how can editing, the concept of editing, be used for success in your life? I'm going to tell you how you can start editing in any aspect of your life, regardless of how good you are right now, to actually make your success happen faster and happen more easily. If that sounds good to you, keep listening. Number one, purpose of editing is to create clarity. Any of you who's done any actual tangible editing, usually you know you're trying to get the point across still by being as clear as possible, which means usually you are trimming things away. You are cutting the fat. Any of you ever heard the concept of something getting left on the cutting room floor, or the cutting room floor? What does that mean? That means that these are things that got cut out during the editing process that you initially had in there, but you cut it down in order to still get the point across, but you don't need that part in there in order to still get the point out. I remember when I wrote one of my books, I was contracted to write 150,000 words. My first draft was 250,000 words. All we did for the next 3 to 6 months, and doesn't take me that long to write a book, but the publisher would take that long. All we did was go back and forth, just cutting stuff out until we were down to 150,000 words. It was essentially what needed to be said. The book came out amazingly. That was my book, Work on Your Game, by the way. Which leads to point number two. Editing is usually about less. When you have less, you can do more. Any of you ever bought something from like IKEA or one of these Wayfair or one of these companies that sends you the flat pack of some furniture to put together? The longer and more detailed the instructions look, the less likely it is you're going to actually do it. When the instructions look very simple and it's very easy to put together, is a higher likelihood that somebody actually does the work. When there is less, people usually do more. You want to make your ideas simple, repeatable, easily understood, so that you don't have to, people can even understand without having to write it down. People hear phrases like your favorite politicians or whoever you like, the ones who win, they have very simple concepts, very simple slogans that are easily repeatable. They're easily understood the first time you hear them. Why? Because they keep it simple. Less is more. In weightlifting, for example, any of you who does lifting weights, when you lift fewer reps but heavier weights, you usually get bigger muscles. Your body gets bigger. Why? Because you're doing less. Less is more. And a lot of us have been trained, especially in Western society, that we're supposed to be doing more in order to prove that we're doing more, like this hard work, hustle culture. That's nonsense. It's actually doing less is what gets you more results. And the last thing, we got to remember that this is an outcome-based focus. There's a results-based business known as life. It's the same thing in entrepreneurship, same thing in sports. When we're focused on the outcome, we should always ask ourselves, can I achieve this outcome without this part right here? The answer is yes, cut it out. Can I achieve this outcome without this person? Cut them out. Can I achieve this outcome without these actions? Cut that out. The answer is yes. Keep editing until only the essential remains. Work on your game.